about to begin. Just want to reiterate the request that everyone please turn off all electronic devices to make sure they have the proper decorum and dignity during the Levaya, during the service. My name is Rabbi Binyamin Blau. I have the privilege of serving at the Green Road Synagogue, where Max was a pillar, literally, of the building and of the shul. I'm going to start with the Parak of Tehillim, a chapter of Psalms. Vichtam le David, Shermeni el ki chasi sivach, amart Adonai Adonai ata tavasi ba lolecha, likdoshim asheba eretz hema vadirei kol chefti bam, yebuat vasam achar maharu balasik nixehem midam, ubalatash mosamat vasai, Adonai benot chalki v'chosi adata tamich gorali, chavalim naflali banimim af nachala shafroila, yavarek Adonai asher yatzani, Afle lo tistuni chil yosoi, shivisi Adonai ligadi tamik mini be'alamot, V'chein samach libi v'yagel k'vodi abasari yishkon laveta, ki lo tazov nafshi lishol, lo sitein chatzit choli roshacha, so the eini orach chayim savas machotes panecha, nimos bimincho netzach. We're gathered together to pay our respects to Meir ben Yitzchak, Max Solomon, Papa, a larger-than-life personality who in certain ways was everyone's uncle. He was a vibrant, vigorous person, a real, as they would say, I know I speak Yiddish, many people speak Yiddish here as well, a real starker, right? But at the same time, could be kind and gentle to all those he came in contact with. As I noted, he was a builder, not just in the physical sense, but more in the way that he shaped the lives of those around him. This was an incredible story with numerous hardships, but with amazing accomplishments. Really, there's so much to be learned from his life. His beginnings were very humble. His parents were quite poor. They had 12 children. 2 of them died in infancy. His father came at one point to America to make money, to try to bring his family afterwards. He wasn't successful. He returned to Europe. This is before the war. Max was the first boy after many daughters, and he was adored by his parents, adored by his mother. As the family said, he could walk on water. Nonetheless, it was a very difficult, challenging time financially. And at the age of about 8 or 9 years old, he went to live with a relative, Shlomo Solomon, a widower, because it was just difficult to care for all those members of the family, to all the children. Shlomo was considered a little bit of a dour person, but he was very honest, and he was very, very kind to Max. Max was a wild child who loved horses and used to ride them. His home was a loving one. His parents loved one another very much, but their existence was very primitive and very harsh. It was a difficult life. It was a very difficult life. In 1943, Hitler, Yamach Shemo, came to their area of Czechoslovakia and altered their lives. While the men and older boys were taken out of the town, forced to dig their own graves, and killed. But Max made eye contact with a young Nazi commander, and somehow the man only grazed him. He fell down, he woke up, and he found himself amidst the corpses, but alive. Initially, he joined the partisans, but was afraid of their anti-Semitism. He wound up going to a labor camp, and there he worked very hard and once again was very good with the horses. There's an incredible story that I think gets to the heart of who Max was and all that he represents. Here he was working hard in the labor camp. They were working outside in the cold snow, and there was a man playing an accordion. And at one point, the accordion player tired, and he lay down in the snow. And Max said, "Get up, what are you doing?" And he said, "I'm done. I can't take it anymore, just let me die. Let me freeze to death here in the snow." And Max said, "No." Max picked him up, put him on his shoulder, started carrying him back to the barracks. The Nazi individual saw him, the Nazi soldiers saw them and said, "What are you doing? Put him down. If not, I'll kill you both with one bullet." And Max, with his bravery, with his heroism, said, "No, you're not. I'm a good worker. You're not going to shoot me." And Max kept on going and took him back to the barracks. He didn't see that man for many, many years. Years later, Max is already in America. He's been successful. He gets invited to a fancy wedding in Chicago. He goes in a big, nice car, as was his wont. And he gets to the wedding, and as he's going into the wedding, he gets grabbed. Now, as I said a moment ago, Max was a starker. To pull Max was not going to be that easy. But this man, who Max doesn't recognize, grabs him, and he takes him to the middle of the beautiful ballroom, and he stops the music, and he stops the wedding, and he says, "This is Meyer Shlomonovitz, who saved my life." It was the accordion player. Max saved his life. That was Max. After the war, he met up with some of his sisters. He met his wife, Suri, and they came to the United States in 1951, first going to New York, and then settling in Cleveland. He was still Meyer. He became Max Solomon because he needed to get a driver's license. He didn't have the right papers, so you find a way to deal with it. And he had an uncle, Max. He took his license, he took his name, got the license, and moved on. Bright and very strong. Initially, he was a carpenter. He was a very, very good carpenter. He was a perfectionist. He did everything really well. And despite not receiving any formal education, he spoke 7 to 8 languages. His strength, of course, was legendary. I did not see this, but many people told me that he literally could rip phone books in half. I see a lot of nodding of heads. Perhaps you saw him do this. I heard another story, though, today, when he first started going to work, and there he was working, and there was this huge metal sheet. And the foreman on the job said, "We have to wait for a group of a crew of people to be able to move. It's huge. It's a huge sheet." The man goes away. Max picks it up by himself, moves it to where it needs to be moved. The foreman comes back. "What happened?" Max goes, "Who needs a crew?" He did it himself. He was a very, very strong individual. Later on, he became a contractor, building houses all over in Cleveland and way beyond. I live on Wendover. Most of the houses on my block were built by Max. He had many, many partners and even more friends. He was incredibly generous. His niece described to me last night, years ago, she needed a prom dress. He gave her $50 when $50 was money. He gave her $50. But that was the way he treated everybody. He was so generous to all they came in contact with. Whether they worked with him or for him, he treated them like family. This morning I had a chance to speak with Dale Rubin, who talked about how Max helped him build his business. And Max didn't care about the money that they made. That was irrelevant. He just loved the relationship. He loved the connection. He loved being with him. He was a very special human being who loved children, but especially, really especially, his grandchildren. He made them feel safe. He gave them the tools for life. He taught them that they could do the impossible. They shared with me a story. He once had a project. He had a building that looked like it was sinking, literally sinking into the ground. And Max, the man with no formal education, figured out a way to create a hydraulic system and lift the building. He could do anything. He could do anything in their eyes, but that was true. He looked like a movie star. The family told me the name of the movie star. I Googled it. Steve Cochran. Google it tonight. He did look exactly like Max. He was incredibly handsome, but to his grandchildren, he was simply their gentle, loving papa who was part of a pair with their baba. He was a regular shul goer at Green Road Synagogue. He literally helped build the shul in every way, physically and also in terms of the conduct that the shul was all about. He loved his Judaism. He loved his family. He was a gentle giant of a man, a shtarker, who fortunately died the death of tzaddikim, the righteous. He died peacefully. Yehi zichro baruch. May his memory be a blessing. May his life be inspiration. Someone who came from such humble beginnings, who had so many challenges, and yet accomplished so much in his life. I think it really is a lesson for all of us, something we should achieve, we should aspire to. Again, may his memory be a blessing. May he always be in the hearts of everyone here in this room, and most importantly, in his family. I'd like to call up his granddaughter, Courtney, who was so close and took such good care of him, to say a few words.
Thank you for everybody for coming today. Honestly, there are no words that can describe the monumental loss that this is. It's the last of a generation. It's the last of the survivors. Like, Max used to floss his teeth with $20 bills. And that has to be one of my favorite memories. You know, I was his guardian and he was my protector. And he was my ox and I was his bull. As I'm a May baby. I thank God every day that he didn't have to suffer and he passed peacefully and that he's back home with all of his siblings and my grandmother. And he taught me everything in life. Like, who I am today is literally because of Max and Sophia. The unconditional love was just warming. It just encapsulated you. And believe me, there were plenty of times he probably could have choked me. But never once did he give up or did he bat an eye. He was always there and he always fixed it and he always saved me. I'll be here to carry on his legacy, exactly as he would have done it. Thank you.
As Max's funeral is taking place during the middle of the Chag of Pesach, during the holiday of Passover, so we have a slight deviation from a normal pattern. We do not say the Kalmale, the memorial prayer that we would normally say at this point in time. Instead, I'm going to ask everyone to rise to say another chapter of Tehillim, another parak of Psalms. Shir Lamalo, Tesoina Elarim, Me'ayin Yavo Ezri, Ezri Me'ima Adonai, Osei Shamayim V'Aret, Ayitein Lamodak Lecha, Yanum Shomrecha, Hinei Lo Yanum Lo Yishan, Shomer Yisrael, Adonai Shomrecha, Adonai Tzilcha, Yad Yeminecha, Yomama Shemesh Lo Yakecha, V'Yareach B'Layla, Adonai Yishmarcha Mikol Ra, Yishmar Et Nafshecha, Adonai Yishmar Tzizka V'Echa, Me'ata B'Yad Olam. Let's get everyone to please be seated. This concludes this part of our service. The interment will take place at Zion Memorial Park. The family will be receiving friends at their residence, 2382 Richmond Road in Beechwood, today until 8 p.m., tomorrow on Wednesday from 2 to 5 p.m., then once again from 7 to 9 p.m. Anyone who'd like to contribute is asked to do so to the FIDF, the Friends of the Israel Defense Forces. Thank you all for coming.